Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm going to defend Kylie Jenner, and I'm ready to get in a cage with her mother.
I can't wait for this segment.
It's all going to make sense very soon.
Yes, please.
Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not.
Welcome to the Maybe I'm Crazy podcast. I'm Joy Taylor, that's Brandon Newman.
Hola.
So we're going to talk about Game 5 and the rest of the NBA Finals and KD's injury, obviously. Anthony Davis trade rumors are ramping up, so that could be very impactful. Looks like the Lakers are in front of that. The Cowboys still don't want to pay Dak Prescott. Justin Bieber inexplicably wants to fight Tom Cruise.
Woo, here for that.
Odell talking about how hard his life is, which I'm actually on his side. I'm on his side on that one.
Stop.
LaMelo Ball doubters are losers. People who are mad at Kylie Jenner are losers. And people who don't understand how middle seats on an airplane work.
Middle seats?
Middle seats, yes. I've got many thoughts. I could do an entire podcast on just air travel, as we've discussed. We are the podcast that gives other people genius ideas for podcasts.
True that,
we
yes.
don't do.
Yes,
and one of them is just every week discussing a new issue with air travel.
I'm down with that. I say start a segment.
And Raptors fans, we got to talk to you. We got to have some talks with the Canadians. Yeah, U.S. Women's National Team. I'm wearing the Taylor jersey. In another life, I was a World Cup level soccer player. Actually, I'm a decent soccer player.
Yes.
Not that long ago, I tore my ACL, and that ended my career. Because
Injury
when
bug.
you tear your ACL, no, actually, I've never had a major injury as an athlete.
You just said you tore your ACL, Joy.
Up until that point. Until that point. So not
injury
bug means you have multiple injuries.
Okay, I was talking about injury bug in the life of what we're going to be talking about today in sports in general.
Okay, yeah.
Because the Katie thing put me down a long, dark path of I never got injured playing in college. I had to play a little bit more to do that.
You got very emotional about the KD injury.
It's hard. When you see it and you're reminded of like when somebody you care about on the team like goes down like that. It sucks.
No, it's a lot. We'll get to it in a second. But I did tear my ACL playing soccer in a women's league in Miami, and
what was the ceiling if you would have kept going?
The women's league in Miami.
The better one, or just the one you was
that
at?
one.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it was legit competition. Like you had to pay. We had referees. We had jerseys and stuff.
I ain't down
but when you tear your ACL as a regular person, not as a professional athlete. Very inconvenient. It literally happened the week before I started my new job as an executive producer at a radio station. Very difficult. Not the best entry.
Basically, you
have to tell everyone else to do your job. Like I can't go get anything. I can't carry anything.
That sounds nice.
Not the way you really want to enter into. Like, hey, excuse me, I don't know you. Can you go get this for me? Because obviously I can't move.
Yes,
it's not ideal.
The soccer league.
And then the rehab, it's awful. So speaking of that, all of that. Oh man, KD. All right. Well, so we thought that the Raptors were going to win.
Yes.
Championship in Game 5, and KD is back. Changed everything. So KD's back. He comes back and plays for 12 minutes, has 11 points, and looks great. And then pops what we think is his Achilles. He's getting his MRI right now as we speak, as we're recording this. So we might get news during, and then we'll have to change this. But either way, it looks like he's going to be out for a year. And that sucks. And I never thought that KD was coming back for the finals at all. So when I heard the news, I was. It's not that I was disappointed, but I was very leery of like, okay, like this is not. I get it. The championship's on the line. You're down 3-1. I know he wants to be out there. I'm sure they cleared him. Because if they didn't clear him, he's not going to be out there.
Who's they?
But look. I don't think it's in the best interest of the doctor. There's a million theories out there and stuff. It's not in the best interest of the doctors or the Warriors to be like, oh, he's really like 65%. We should just get him out there. No, that doesn't. Sometimes you're going to lose, and that's just you lose fair and square, and then hopefully he signs back, and next year you win. It doesn't benefit the doctors to push Kevin Durant out there before he's ready. That doesn't make sense. I'm sure KD wanted to be out there. They said it was a mutual decision. I believe that.
By the reaction I saw of Bob Myers post game. And the tears in his eyes and blaming himself, I feel as if there could have been something that they could have done differently that may have resulted in something else. Yeah,
the thing they could have done differently is said that he was out for the rest of the playoffs, which is what they did with Kevon Looney very quickly, and then all of a sudden he's back.
And now he's out indefinitely again.
Right. So what they could have said was, Kevin's done for the rest of the playoffs. And then if he happens to get to the point where he was last night, where he felt like he could come back, then you make that decision. But it made it a narrative for all of us, back and forth, every single day. Is KD going to play? I never thought he was, so I didn't ride that roller coaster, but everybody else did. Now, he's injured, and that changes the course of everything because I think that the Raptors are going to win in Game 6. If not, they're going to win in Game 7 because once KD went down and the fans started cheering and everyone got emotional, I was like, all right, the Warriors are going to win this game. Like, there's too much emotion going on right now.
The Raptors felt embarrassed about the cheering.
The cheering, and even if it was just for a second.
You guys get this one.
And we'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah. I don't want to focus on that right now. I felt like the Warriors were going to take that game after that happened. But here's the thing. The Raptors are a really good team. And I don't know why no one wants to say that. Mm-hmm. The whole idea that they need an asterisk next to this championship is ridiculous. People get injured. It happens. Remember when Kyrie got injured? Mm-hmm. That happened. Are we going to count that against the Warriors championship? No, because injuries are a part of the game. Yeah. And yes, I get it. Kevin Durant is the best player in the NBA, in the world, and he's not there, and that makes a difference. And that's really just This should be shocking only to the people who thought that the Warriors were better without Kevin Durant.
Right. Yeah.
Which was silly. Like the discussion of, well, like they play differently. Like, yeah, they play differently when there's not someone out there scoring 35 points. You kind of have to have the ball in your hand in order to do that. So, yeah, their offense is going to look differently. But you're not better without the best player in the world on the court. That's nonsense. So this is really only news to that group of people that thought that was possible. The Raptors are a great team. They deserve this championship. I don't care about what happened with the fans. Fans freak out all the time. Right. You can go through a whole list of
that whole game was chaotic. Everybody was in the moment. I guarantee you when they saw KD go down, no one was thinking about the significance or the severity of the injury. They were like, oh, shit, we can win this game. Well, we might win the entire finals right now. And then they realized what was at stake and how they were acting and started to calm down. But it was a knee-jerk reaction.
For sure. And like I said, we'll get into that later. The bigger implication is what happens next. So moving forward, I'm going to assume that the Raptors are going to win the championship. What changes now? I think the entire free agency market looks differently because guys are going to be looking at the situation with KD. One, I think KD stays now. I don't see how KD leaves amidst a catastrophic injury to New York. Like, you're not going to get the money that you thought you were going to get. I think that the Warriors do give him the max deal regardless because now they look like they're putting him in the category of Cousins, which he's not. He's going to come back and he's going to be great. He's not Boogie Cousins. And that's not just a Boogie Cousins, but they have kind of different body types and kind of different skill sets and kind of different resumes. So KD does not need to be pushed into that category. But if he stays with the Warriors, they can offer him $220 million 5 years. If he goes anywhere else, he can get $164 million for 4 years. So that's $56 million he's leaving on the table.
If anybody does that, it's Kevin Durant, though.
Yes, but that's a lot of money, especially when you just had a catastrophic injury. Now, if he didn't, then I would agree with you. But I just don't see that happening. And I think that this has a ripple effect on the rest of the NBA, too. I think that Kawhi Leonard sees this and stays. I think Jimmy Butler very well may stay. Mm-hmm. And the only big movements that will end up happening could end up being trades.
Yeah, no,
like there are going to be some other smaller free agents that move around, but the big impactful ones, I think, are going to be trades.
Yeah, I didn't want the Raptors to win this series because I wanted Kawhi to have a reason to come to LA to the Clippers, where I wanted him to be, and I knew winning would be a galvanizing thing for this team and bring him together, and he might sign some one-and-one deals. Maybe one-and-one deals are kind of gone after this Durant injury as well. But this injury in itself and what KD tweeted or posted on social media right afterwards, this feels like the galvanizing thing to bring him closer to the Warriors, seeing how much people actually care about him, how much he's actually missed, and now fans see it, which is a big part because KD cares a lot about what people think about the situation he's in.
Yeah, I think this weirdly turned the Warriors into a sympathetic figure.
It's weird. This is the first time I've seen the
Warriors.
Yeah. Go ahead, jump on the mic, Mr. Bay.
We should have always been sympathetic because we're the best, and the best get the best, and you should favor the best.
Listen. He's been
not your strongest argument, but I think
he's been on high alert this whole time. I've been very worried about him. He's been touchy ever since.
This is the least triggered I've been in days. So,
congrats.
I mean, that's fair. You should be triggered because you're going to lose the finals, and a lot of things could possibly change for you. So I understand that, but it did make the Warriors into sympathetic figures because everything that happened with KD coming back, even coming back, kind of saving the basketball side of the series because there were a lot of storylines going on here, but him coming back and playing as great as he was for that 12-minute span, was like, okay, this is everyone's watching. We have to see what Kevin Durant does. Now he's out. You saw the emotion from all of his teammates. You saw the reaction from Raptors fans. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, we all feel bad for the Warriors. Like the dynasty's gonna end, and now KD's gonna be out, and what's gonna happen? It's like, how did all that happen? What happened to the Hamptons Five?
No, we knew the dynasty would end via injury the entire time, and no one said that, and because we're not rooting for that.
No, it could have ended from Kevin Durant just leaving.
But the three-peat is gone. It's not going to happen.
Well, yeah,
which changes everything moving forward. It's right. I still think the Warriors can win in 7. I still truly believe that, but they just, for the first time, they don't have the depth to beat the Raptors.
Yeah, no, Kevon Looney is out,
and this is the first time
he's definitely out. It's definitely it's not there anymore. It's
gonna be tough.
But this is the first time we've seen this team, this Warriors team in the finals, and the team they're playing against is just clearly better than them. So watching the championship muster, and let's not talk about the reason that they won by 1 point. The crazy moving pick call they had on Boogie Cousins.
No. That was an easy call. That is not a crazy call.
The calls the entire time. They were calling for the
goaltending, and it was clearly a moving
The
screen.
Warriors were at the foul line every 2 seconds compared to the Warriors. Like
the Raptors.
The Raptors. It felt weird. I am a conspiracy theorist. It felt like, let's go to Game 6.
Well, so then wouldn't they be calling calls for the Warriors?
Yeah.
It was very
just
good.
Wanted to call a conspiracy so bad. I think
it was very good for the Warriors.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
No, we don't, because that doesn't make sense.
To the sort of sympathetic figures that we see in the Warriors now, or other people seem to see in the Warriors now, I think it speaks to something that I've wanted to say for a while, which is that when this is gone, whenever that is, whether it's next season, whether this is the moment, Game 3 or Game 6 is the end, whenever that happens, we're going to miss the Warriors bad. It's real good basketball. There's more interesting stories than everywhere else but LeBron. And if, like, everyone's so excited to see the Warriors fall, but if it's Raptors, Blazers in the finals next year, no one's going to watch and no one's going to care. So
that was the take you were looking for earlier.
I think that we the Warriors' life flashed before their eyes and our eyes, and we got to see, like, oh, damn, this was pretty great. And so I hope that continues for the rest of the series, win, lose, or draw.
Well, I disagree with the people won't watch the finals take, because that was the same take that everyone had with this one. Like, everyone's sick of seeing the Warriors and no one cares about the Raptors, and that's just simply not true. Everyone's going to watch championship basketball no matter what.
You don't watch superstars.
Exactly. But I do agree with you, and that's why I said this earlier. In the year, I want to appreciate what I'm watching with the Warriors, because it is greatness, and I don't have any personal vendetta against the Warriors. I think it is great basketball, and it's revolutionized the game what Steph Curry and Klay Thompson have been able to do, and all the credit goes to Steph Curry, but I mean, it's Splash Brothers for a reason. Klay Thompson made that as dynamic as it was. But I agree with that for sure. But the bigger takeaway from all of this is what has happened with KD is, I think the narrative of the dynasty changes a little bit. They only won one without. If they end up losing this series, which let's assume that they do,
right?
They only won one without KD, and this one they needed KD. So it really the whole idea that this was like KD and the Warriors doesn't make sense. Like, I think that narrative is you got to dead that now, because not only did they need KD, it's literally proven. Like, it's in the proof is in the pudding. They're not a dynasty with one championship. Lots of teams have won one championship. That doesn't mean anything. Okay, you had a great season and a great year, and you won a championship. Multiple championships is what you call a dynasty, and they needed KD to do that. So I think that's all the more reason that KD should stay now, because as much as it would have been great for KD to be in New York healthy, now that he's not healthy, I don't think he goes. And now I think he's a more of a bigger part of the Warriors dynasty than he's gotten credit for up until this point. And weirdly, this injury will show how important he was to this stretch.
Yeah, especially moving forward.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm obviously we all feel bad for KD. Like, it sucks. He's going to be out, and that's the worst, losing a superstar like KD in the finals. Yeah. But right now it doesn't feel that way. I do want to give Kawhi props, because he's been absolutely incredible.
Yes.
Which I predicted.
Okay. He did. He definitely he shot away from taking that last shot last night.
Okay, so we can talk about that for 1 second. Game 5, end of the game, championship on the line. Kawhi, you got to do something. I don't even care if you drive in and Andre Iguodala just eats you. You have to you have to be the person. Like, I hated that LeBron passed the ball to Kyle Korver and whatever that game was. Yeah. Like, they deserved to lose that game that way and deserved to lose that championship.
Never passed to a guy named Kyle with the game on the line. You can't
I mean,
do it.
just don't. Wow. You're the superstar. You have to do what superstars do. And I get it. It's not the right basketball move. Basketball move.
Okay, yes.
Okay, but I don't care about that. It's the championship. Send the line. I don't care that MJ passed to Steve Kerr. I don't want to hear about that. This is the moment. Like, this is what you're here for. This is the heart of the champion moment. Do it. Like, I don't care that you're being doubled. And for that matter, of course they're gonna double Kawhi Leonard. Like, what do you mean?
But they were doing that
of course
the whole
they're
time.
gonna do that.
But the longest tenured Toronto Raptor taking the last shot. Listen, that would have been great. That would have been great. And then Draymond Green, being Draymond Green, got his hand on the ball. Like, it was a good defensive play. It's not Kyle Lowry's fault.
It was all the Warriors doing what they do and they get the least amount of credit for, which is defense.
Right.
Warriors do not get enough credit for their defense because their offense is so dynamic. They're great defenders, and kudos to Draymond. He did get a hand on it, but I don't want the ball in Kyle Lowry's hands anyway. And that's no disrespect to Kyle Lowry, whose reputation I think has been just completely shined in the past couple days.
Quite the rebrand.
Yes, no, total glow up. Yeah. What do you mean? Yeah. Of course, that Mark Stevens nonsense.
Yes. He was.
Anytime someone gets shoved and shows restraint, it's an instant glow up.
That's the only time he hasn't looked insane the whole series. But I'll give you that.
He was under the Harry Potter invisibility cloak until this final started. So I'm here for it.
That one.
Yeah, and Marc Gasol leading the team. Like, the Raptors team is too good for the Warriors. I don't know if Steph and Klay can muster the Splash Brothers magic to win this series when the Raptors are that good deep into the bench.
They're not going to shoot the way that they shot in Game 5 for the rest of the series. It's insane. And the emotions of everything that happened with KD are going to drop down. I think Toronto wins the series. I hope it doesn't come down to another last-second shot with Kawhi passes around to Kyle Lowry. Although, if you want to get a three-pointer, corner three is the best shot, I suppose. But nobody thought that was going in, right?
Win for KD.
Regardless if Draymond is there.
Sean
Hill did, huh?
No.
You know, but why not? That is a good way to look at that.
With it. With it. Quit it.
What?
With it.
We about to turn up in this bitch.
All right, what am I winning or quitting today?
Pelicans' new EVP David Griffin announced that they are open to a deal involving multiple teams but are in no rush to trade Anthony Davis. Realistic landing spots for the six-time All-Star are trickling down, but AD has made it clear that he would like to end up with either the Knicks or the Lakers. Joy, Anthony Davis will be a Pelican at the beginning of the season. With it or quit it?
Oh, quit it, for sure. Also, is David Griffin famous enough that we don't have to call him EVP? Because I don't like EVP. Yes, okay.
Of basketball operations? What do you want?
I think we just call him David Griffin.
No. You asked a question. She said yes. The answer is no.
I mean, I disagree. I think if you
is that the name of the son on Family Guy?
If you're a sports person, you know who David Griffin is, right?
Incorrect.
Do you have to say what the hell is Rob Pelinka's title? President of
Kobe's friend.
Kobe's friend, right? President being Kobe's friend.
I mean, if we're in LA, that's different, and all the mess that's been going on, that's different. It's in the zeitgeist now.
My vote is that he's just David Griffin.
Okay, I will never say EVP again before David Griffin.
I mean, if you feel comfortable, all right, that's enough. It's getting confusing for people. The point is, he is definitely going to get traded. And I think that this is going to be the most impactful movements of a superstar because of what just happened to KD.
He's going to get traded, but I don't think he's going to get traded before February.
No, I think he is because the draft is next week. And they want to know what their pieces are that they're going to get. And if they're going to trade for a draft piece in this particular draft, like the number 4 pick, they want to be able to make that pick, not have the Lakers make that pick for them and then be comfortable with whoever it is. Because I think everyone agrees after the number 3 pick in this draft, we don't really know what we're getting from each person.
I'm not everyone, but I continue, please.
Okay, well, most people feel like there are 3 locks in this draft. Right. They're the top 3 picks. That's Zion, John Morant, and RJ Barrett. And from there, you can move it around. So if you are getting the number 4 pick from the Lakers, you want to be able to move that around yourself. So I think that they're going to get this done before the draft next week. And they have to get it done quickly if that's the case.
Why?
So, because the draft, like I just said. Rush. Well, that's not true. I mean, sometimes there's fake news, and I think this is fake news. I'm calling fake news on this.
On EVP David Griffin, you calling fake news? Okay.
I'm calling David Griffin is just David Griffin putting out fake news on this. I don't think the Knicks have the pieces. Now, they want an all-star, a player that has the potential to, a young player that has the potential to be an all-star, and 2 first-round picks. I think that's a haul for Anthony Davis.
Yes.
Maybe it's just that. Look, it's just that Anthony Davis has not been able to lead his team to anything of note. So I think that's just too much for Anthony Davis. I understand Anthony Davis is very young and he hasn't had a whole lot of talent around him, and he has been in New Orleans, which up until this point didn't have the best management. But I don't know. When you look at what the Lakers originally offered them, I mean, what? I was reading it today on The Herd, and I honestly almost. We're not on national television, but I almost cursed. What do you mean? What was it? It was Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, and 2 picks. What? 2 first-round picks?
That is what Magic did behind Jeannie Buss's back and behind Pelinka's back. We don't know if that would have went through. He was just wilding. Magic was wilding for LeBron. That's what it was. That's all that was.
Listen, there's never been an easier fire than Dell Demps.
Facts.
What are you thinking?
Yeah.
What are you thinking? What are you doing? I've never seen an easier fire. What? I couldn't believe that. But anyway, that's not going to happen this time around. The point is, I don't think that the Knicks have the draft pieces anymore, unless they're going to give the number 3 pick for Anthony Davis.
And they said they don't
want to do all that
that
because they already did something similar to that for Carmelo Anthony, and we all know how that turned out. So, because of what happened with KD and the injury, I think Kawhi is going to end up staying in Toronto now. KD is going to end up staying in Golden State because of the injury. I don't think that Jimmy Butler is better than Anthony Davis. Mm-hmm. So if I'm the Lakers, I'm more interested in getting that done than I am enticing Jimmy Butler to come here. And I also think Jimmy Butler's going to end up staying. So there's some other big free agents out there. Kemba's out there, Chris Middleton. But this is the move, Boogie. But this is the move that I think the Lakers should make, and I think they should be aggressive about it. I don't think they should give up what they were originally going to give up, obviously. But the number 4 pick is good for me, and I would like for them to be able to hold on to Lonzo and Kuzma in this spot if they can make that work. Now, Brandon Ingram has some kind of questionable health situation, which I'm sure makes teams uncomfortable, and we don't know much about it. But that, we saw what happened with Chris Bosh. Disaster. Obviously everyone feels bad for Chris Bosh, but that was a disaster for the Heat. So if it's anything similar to that situation, teams are going to want to stay away from that in a trade.
Well, if David Griffin is paying attention to what happened with Kawhi and Pop last season, he wouldn't trade his superstar all-star to the West. That's why I'm not thinking that Anthony Davis is going to end up with the Lakers. It's going to be the Celtics are going to make a proposal. There's going to be a multiple team deal to get Anthony Davis away from the Pelicans, in my opinion.
That always sounds nice, and I get it if you have those options on the table. But I think if David Griffin is smart, he's looking towards the future more than worrying about if Anthony Davis is in the West. Because
what's the future?
The future, what you're getting for Anthony Davis. You're building around a young superstar as it is in Zion Williamson. You're not going to win a championship this year. Your goal should be to put together a team that you can grow and develop and build into a perennial playoff and championship level team. Not worrying about, if we've traded Anthony Davis to the West, then we have to play him a couple times. And we make the other team better. The other team is going to be better.
Times.
Look, LeBron has 3 more years with the Lakers, and then he's done. All right, we all know that that's it. He might hang on for 1 more year so he can play with Bronny somewhere. We're done with that.
Right,
all right,
yeah.
that's a whole nother lifetime from now. No one is worried about that.
Right.
Okay, yeah, exactly. We'll be with the Heat, and that'll be that. Mm-hmm. All right, so no one's worried about that. So for the next 3 years, you should be focusing on getting players there that are going to not only benefit Zion Williamson, because that's who you're building your franchise around, but who can develop alongside him. You're not going to bring in a bunch of veterans and 1 or 2 here, but you already have Drew Holiday. That's how I believe David Griffin should grow his team and organization, especially if you're going to change the culture there, which you have to do if you're bringing in Zion Williamson, because the whole point, aside from his skill, is his marketing and gravitas. Right. So if you have this mismatch situation, it doesn't work, and then you're wasting years of Zion Williamson like the Cavs did with LeBron.
My argument is, when you have the biggest trading piece in Anthony Davis, there's no rush to do anything with him. You wait for the best offer, and I don't think the best offer is going to be there because he has a chance to be greedy.
There's too much risk there involved. Like anything can happen. Okay. And right now you have the piece, and sometimes you keep waiting for the best offer, and then you lose leverage, and people move around, and things happen, and then those opportunities aren't there anymore. And we saw what just happened with Kevin Durant. Anthony Davis is still working out. Anything can happen at any time. So it's not like he's sitting around on a couch all day long. What if he has an injury while he's training?
He's in a lot of Men in Black promos right now.
I don't even want to. I honestly, I've got to be honest with you. I do not want to discuss those promos. I don't want to discuss them. I saw like the trio, and I was like, I can't even process what's happening right now.
No, don't do that, because it sounds like you're mad at Chris Paul.
I said it. I didn't say it. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. I didn't see that either. No.
What happened?
A lot of kicks.
What it was turned around for 5 minutes.
A lot of kicks on goal.
Tell him what you're seeing. Joy just turned around and saw.
Is that fake?
The U.S. is up 7-0. No.
I mean,
it would be a really good trick if you guys were faking right now.
No, they were. I mean,
that's a good note for the future that we will hopefully use.
I'm kind of mad.
3 goals.
I'm more that I didn't see it.
Time passed.
I mean, they have reserves in now, right? Obviously.
Yeah, but the reserves, like they just brought in Carly Lloyd.
Oh yeah.
She was the best player.
Yeah,
in the last
she was a
World
beast
Cup, so,
back in the day.
Yeah. So it's not like.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
All right, what's next?
The Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott should be settling on a contract extension sooner rather than later after the Eagles locked up Carson Wentz for a long-term 4-year deal worth $128 million. Everyone is expecting Dak to have a big payday. Joy, the Cowboys are going to make Dak Prescott the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Wit it or quit it?
I gotta quit it, and I really don't understand why.
What do you mean? You think it should back up the truck?
What other option do they have? Here's what I don't understand about NFL franchises who struggle with paying their quarterback, right? Where's the other quarterback? Do you have another quarterback?
Okay, yes. The fact that they haven't paid him yet is the issue, because now that they've waited so long, the price keeps going up.
Right, give him an extension.
And Jared Goff is going to sign eventually, and then that price is going to continue to move up. He was just in the Super Bowl.
He has the most wins by a starting quarterback since 2016. Only Tom Brady has more. Only Tom Brady. And look, I'm not comparing Dak Prescott to Tom Brady, but Dak Prescott is the Cowboys franchise quarterback. Yeah. I don't know why everyone struggles with this. Yeah. And this whole idea that he should take less money. Have we discussed this before?
No, you talked me off.
Have I talked about this before? I feel like I've talked about this before.
Yes.
Miss me with telling him to take less money. He has been on a rookie contract, which has paid him an average of $680,000 per season. He has the most wins by a starting quarterback since 2016. So this whole idea that he should take less money like Tom Brady takes less money, so then you can put more pieces around them, and then you can make a Super Bowl team. Oh, my bad. What? That Bill Belichick coaches the Cowboys? Does he coach the Cowboys?
I agree with that.
No, Bill Belichick does not coach the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Sir Clap-A-Lot coaches the Cowboys. Okay.
Yes, he do.
First of all, that's not the case.
Yeah.
And he's been on a rookie deal, a 4th-round rookie deal,
yeah,
all this time, and you haven't been able to put the pieces around him with all that flexibility to get to a championship. So why would he take less money now? What have you proven? Tom Brady taking less money makes sense. Bill Belichick is his coach. He went to a Super Bowl in his 2nd year in the league? Yeah.
They got pretty far last year on that rookie contract, and the pieces were around. That defensive line was great at the end of the season, as I said they would be. That running game is great. They are going to have to pay Amari Cooper. They're going to have to pay Ezekiel Elliott. So Jerry's going to have to pay someone. I don't know if he's going to get some private jet deals for some people to get paid a supplemental income, but the Cowboys are good. They have big name stars. They have drafted well. They continue to draft well. This is going to be a problem that they're going to continue to have as long as they're in contention in the NFC, which they will be.
Yeah, the thing is everyone has this problem. It's like where did this news come from? Like when everyone was talking about how short Kyler Murray is. Did he just get short? Did he shrink? He's always been this size. Why is this news to anyone? You have to pay your quarterback. That's how it works. If you want to get ahead of it and give him and handle it the way that they did Carson Wentz, then you're smart. You can do it that way. Everybody knows that Dak Prescott isn't Tom Brady, but you don't need to be Tom Brady because guess what? There's only one Tom Brady. So stop acting like that is just a thing that exists out there. It doesn't.
He'll be in the top 5 paid quarterbacks if this deal goes through, because Carson's making $32 a year. That puts him at number 4. You got Russell Wilson at 35. Ben Roethlisberger at 34 a year.
That's the market. That's what they get paid. That's how it works.
Those guys are proven winners. I guess, I mean, he's won, but hasn't won the game. He's got to win the game.
Read that list again for me, please.
Russell Wilson, Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers, then Carson Wentz, and then Matt Ryan is probably going around
Carson Wentz,
four.
Matt Ryan. They've won lots of those big games, right? Where's that? They got rings or something I miss, maybe? Has Carson Wentz had multiple injuries?
Carson Wentz getting the bag is the crazy part.
Did Matt Ryan blow the Super Bowl in the most historic fashion of all time?
You could argue the Patriots defense, did their job. Bill Belichick coaches defense.
You could argue the other side as well.
Of course.
Because he was the quarterback in that Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't care about that. That's what the market is. You pay them what the market is. Dak Prescott is a franchise quarterback. You have to pay him as such. It's just the way that it works. What I'm really actually hoping for at this point is that they don't give him money, and then they draft a new quarterback, and then they're terrible for like the next 10 years. That's what I'm actually starting to hope for, because it's so
And Kellen Moore's the head
silly.
coach?
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not joking. 0% joking. And I always root for the Cowboys to be good, because that's good for me.
Good for everyone.
It's
It's
good
good for
everyone.
America.
It is good for
It's
America.
good for the world.
America's
You know
team.
what else is good for America? Sign Dak Prescott and make sure that he's a franchise quarterback. Oh, you know what you should bring back? Tony Romo. That's what I wish for. I changed my mind. Let's bring Tony Romo back. Those were fun years. Bring Tony Romo back, and you can pay him whatever, since you
Fragile.
clearly don't want to pay quarterbacks. And fragile. Yeah. And,
Jerry's
and
just
not only
making
that.
sure it's the exactly correct number. All right.
Okay, you're going to keep
You
waiting.
can say whatever you want to say about
The
Jerry
number
Jones.
keep going up.
But he's a businessman.
Then
he's
that
gonna
number
get
keep
it
going
figured
up.
out.
That's all I'm saying. That number keep going up.
I'm saying this goes on for much longer. I'm going to start lighting my candles and saying my prayers to the sports gods that you guys bring back Tony Romo.
Johnny Manziel's still out there.
Is he going by John now, or is it just Johnny?
I can't keep up. It's not Johnny
Mr.
Football no
Manziel.
more. Definitely not that. Mr. Canadian Football.
If he's going by John, then I'm Johnny, probably, huh?
I don't get it.
Cringe. Hear ye. Raptors fans are petty. So we all learn something as a world. Every once in a while, everyone learns something at the same time.
Right, yes.
Last night, watching the Game 5, when KD went down, and then Canadians aren't really that nice. Turns out you're fake nice.
They have to think about it. Yeah, exactly. You fake nice, you got to think about it.
Fake nice. So KD went down with a catastrophic injury, and look. Not everyone in the arena started cheering, all right? It bothers me immensely when people paint an entire fan base as, like, derelicts, all right? There was a couple drunk people, enough that it made enough noise that it sounded like an arena, but it's an arena. So they were cheering, and some people were waving, like, bye. And then, Kyle Lowry and Serge Ibaka kind of went like this, and a couple fans, too, actually, were turning around, like, waving at the fans that were cheering, telling them to stop. And then in Canadian fashion, they all stopped and started clapping and chanting KD. So
As he walked off the
they
court,
had
yes.
a moment, okay? And it's just because, the Americans have been hanging around with them too long, right? That's just that's what I blame this
exposure
on.
to Americans
Too much exposure
and
to
American
us.
television.
Right.
Right.
That's what I'm blaming this on. Look, it's obviously awful that they were cheering KD's injury. You never want to cheer someone when someone gets injured. Like, it sucks anyway, because you always want to beat a team when they're at their best, so that there's no argument that you are the best. So KD being out absolutely sucks for everyone, including the Raptors, because I don't want to have that conversation about, oh, well, they didn't really win because it wasn't KD. That's bullshit. There's injuries that are a part of every single championship, no matter what sport it is, and you can make that argument for the end of time. So they beat who they beat when they were available. You can't control injuries, so I don't want to hear about that. But shame on those fans for cheering. It is a terrible look. It stripped the Raptors of any goodwill that they had, because anyone who was rooting for the Warriors, rooting for the Raptors just because they didn't want to see the Warriors win, were then put in a position where they're like, well, that's lame, so I'm not going to root for the Raptors anymore, because I didn't care about the Raptors to begin with, and they are in Canada. And now their fans turn out to be jerks like the rest of us.
Yeah,
That said, I don't think anyone needs to freakishly overreact to the situation, because we have many examples of fans losing their minds and, burning entire cities down and flipping over cars and starting bonfires in the middle of the street. And throwing beers and batteries and all kinds of other horrible things. And we just say the fan base is bad.
Right.
This is Drake's fault.
Okay.
Talk shit, act nice. That's the Drake. That's what Canadians do now. He's the most popular Canadian. Joy was close. You were very close when you said this is the fault of the Americans around. No, this is the fault of the most prominent forward-facing Canadian, Aubrey Drake.
He was the only person in there. He was the only person.
Drake Graham.
He was only. That's the right one. He's the only person in there who wasn't cheering when KD went down. as a true
You
Raptors fan.
You don't think the precedent of over-the-top behavior, talk shit, act nice, is a Drake phenomenon that those people are learning from?
I'm saying
talk shit, act nice is actually a good way to explain what happened.
Yes.
But so you might not be
But
that
they don't
far
even
off.
talk shit. Jimmy
They
Kimmel did a
waved
thing
goodbye.
Jimmy Kimmel did a thing where he walked around and asked everyone in Toronto to talk shit about the Warriors, and they was like, "Oh no, why would I do that?" No, they're a good team, and if they win, because
Really?
they're champions.
You're citing the comedy bit as proof now.
I mean,
You've
what?
been
No,
on-
you know
you've
what?
been
No,
on those bits, Brandon.
I am citing
You know
the comedy
you
bit.
choose-
Because
Yeah.
every year they would send them down to Miami and be like, name the starting five to like some random drunk person on South Beach.
Fine, 5 idiots, boom, a piece.
It's like,
Done.
name the starting five. Dwayne Wade, Shaq,
Haslam.
Hardaway. Just
Ronnie Cycli.
like, and
Wanda Mourning.
exactly. And everyone would be like, "Oh, see, Heat fans don't know basketball." It's like, that guy's like 10 giant margaritas with the Coronas upside down in them. Like, are you serious right now? Why am I using this?
I was
as,
in a crown mic.
Hey,
The staff mic was
The
crazy.
point is, super petty out of Raptors fans, not a good look. And that is exactly why they lost, because the basketball gods looked down upon that and were like, we were going to give you this game
Karma, really.
and a complete
Citing
gentleman's
karma.
sweep of this dynasty, and now we got to take it away. As we give it, so we shall take away. And also the emotions of the Warriors. Like, they weren't going to lose that game after KD went out.
Yeah, they went up and the Raptors went down.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
It's time for high key, low key.
High key. We're getting better.
That was okay. That was good.
High key, Bieber wants to smoke. Low key, no one thinks he's ready. All right, so out of nowhere, Justin Bieber decided to go on Twitter. And he said he wanted to challenge Tom Cruise to a fight in the octagon. He said, Tom, if you don't take this fight, you're scared. Spelled you are wrong, which is just...
The best. I am here for that. I love it. It's language is subjective.
No, it's
And the
not.
words are.
It's not, and it's the number one thing. It's the number one way to ether someone on Twitter when they're coming at you if they have bad
ether.
grammar.
No, you have to care to get ethered.
I mean, no. You can't come back from it. You cannot come back from an insult if you have bad grammar. Few things are truly that satisfying to me as when a troll is trying to insult me and they have bad grammar. It's like, it's like chicken noodle soup on a cold day. It's so good. Anyway, you're scared and you will never live it down. Who is willing to put on the fight? And then he tags Dana White. Conor McGregor got involved and said that he would put it on. He also said that he would fight someone. Oh, Mark Wahlberg.
Yes.
I don't think Mark Wahlberg's taking that fight.
He's got a big ego. Marky
I
Mark's
would
got a
watch.
big
I
ego.
would not recommend it myself.
Okay.
But anyway.
I've watched that too, though.
So apparently sports books are taking this seriously. There's already odds on it. Tom Cruise,
No
being
reason not to take it
31
seriously.
years Justin Bieber's senior, is favored tremendously.
Tom Cruise, baby. Everybody loves that he does his own stunts. Oh, guess what? Justin Bieber dances all the time. I'm sure he's athletic.
Well,
So you run around.
Floyd Mayweather has vouched for Justin Bieber's boxing skills, but it's, as we all know in a fight, you can look like a fighter all you want.
Right.
It's not so much about can you throw punches. It's about can you take punches.
Yes.
Because in a fight, you're going to get hit.
Yes.
And it's usually the person that can't take a punch that loses the fight.
Exactly.
Because everybody looks good when they get in their little boxing stance. Can you
Not
get
everybody.
hit, though? Well, sure.
Execution is important, though.
Right.
In the fight.
As Mike Tyson says, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face.
Right, yes.
So Tom Cruise is heavily favored. He's 31 years Justin Bieber's senior. He's also 2 inches shorter. I don't know if the short part matters so much. I am
Bieber got
more
reach.
inclined to focus on the crazy part. The one thing you don't want to fight when you are in an amateur fight
Yes.
is the crazy person.
Right. That's fair. Yes.
Because
yes,
they have
yes.
crazy strength.
Yeah, and you don't know what they're going to do.
And-
like Mike Tyson.
Right.
Yeah.
But Tom Cruise isn't quiet, but he is most certainly widely considered to be crazy.
Yeah.
So I think we all agreed on that with the couch jumping situation. It was kind of
Yes.
the moment we were like, oh,
Crazy in love, some would say.
sure. Well, anyway, the point is, I'm going with Tom Cruise in this fight. No disrespect to Justin Bieber, but I've just heard good things about Tom Cruise's athletic ability. Vin Rhames
Right.
came on the herd and said that Tom Cruise is incredibly athletic.
I know, but I guess I got to go to the religion part of it, and just Bieber's newfound faith in God. He's got to be more ready than the Scientology time.
No, I actually think Scientology has been preparing Tom Cruise for this for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Did you watch the documentary? They go through it.
A lot of them.
Anyway, the point is, this got everyone discussing who they would fight if they were to fight someone 31 years older than them.
Yes.
I'm 32, so I gave it a little Google machine, a
Yes.
celebrity, and I had to make a selection.
Yes.
And I actually wound up with the perfect option, which is Kris Jenner. Now, I will explain why I picked Kris Jenner. Because overall, I got a lot of respect for Kris Jenner.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you
so
should.
the point is, I don't want to fight Kris Jenner and I want to beat Kris Jenner up because I most certainly don't.
Right.
But if I had to fight someone who's
Yes.
31 years my senior in a, say, celebrity charity octagon match,
Right.
one, I feel like it would be a good fight because I feel like Kris Jenner is the only one in that family that can fight. That's for sure. That's without question. Kris Jenner is the only one that can fight in that family.
Are we counting people married into the family?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm riding. I'm riding. I think.
I mean,
Caitlyn-
married into the family, like
I feel like
associated with the family, no.
Caitlyn
Like
might got
Blac
hands.
Chyna can for sure throw down.
Right, yes, of
okay,
course,
but
yes.
but married into the family, yes, I'm still going with Kris Jenner
Okay.
over everyone. Like I'm
Okay.
taking Kris Jenner over all daughters.
She's so nice. She's so agreeable.
She's the mastermind behind the entire planet. Like literally, she runs the planet. If you are trying to figure out why everything in Earth happens, it's Kris Jenner. She runs everything.
People gully behind text messages and
She
emails.
makes your decisions for you.
Okay.
Because the Kardashians run the Earth, and she is
All right.
the mama bear.
Okay.
So anyway, I think it'd be a good fight.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would win, but I think it would be scrappy, and we would give the people a good show.
Yeah, you actually would win.
Who is 31 years older than you that you would fight?
29 years young. Shouts out to February. Ashley sent me a list of 60-year-olds to spar with. I was looking around. I was like, Neil deGrasse Tyson, maybe. Like, maybe you can teach me some science on how to beat somebody up. Hugh Laurie. I didn't really like House. But then I saw Vin Rhames sitting there with his little hat all to the side, all big. And Vin Rhames has stuck with me because I was watching one of those, celebrity crazy names, and his daughter's name's Rainbow, spelled REIGN #BEAU,
Right.
and his son's name Freedom. So Freedom reigns and Rainbow reigns. And it's never set well with me. And I've sized them up. I'm ready to fight Vin Rhames.
I can't. Have you seen Baby Boy or?
Yes, and that's why I'm ready to fight Vin Rhames for Teresa's honor. I'm ready
I
for
mean,
Jody. I'm ready to fight.
mistake.
Yeah,
Did you see how that ended for Jody?
Listen,
it's
you
gonna
talked
be
about
so much worse for
you
you.
brought it down. Let me break it. You break it down. Let me break it down.
Have you
Listen,
seen
I
Pulp
can take some
Fiction?
punches, and I know he can take some punches, but I just feel like he's going. And he boxes and martial arts in his spare time. He gets I'm okay getting knocked out by him. That's what I'm saying. You got to pick somebody you're okay losing to.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
That
you got
is
to pick.
fair.
But and I'm ready for the battle. I'm just like two bears in the ring.
No,
just
he is gonna for sure
Joy,
bear slap you.
You're underestimating
He's gonna
me.
hit
You're
you.
being disrespectful
He's gonna
towards
hit you
me.
with this part of his hand like this, like
I am-
so fast. It's gonna be so loud.
I am.
We're gonna be like, oh!
I am refining. I'm refining my athleticism. I was a collegiate athlete. I was an All-American. Listen, it's hard to turn it off.
Better options for you than a clear and obvious beatdown by Vin Rhames. Okay, Nikki Sixx. You could clearly take Nikki Sixx.
I'm not.
Okay?
I know.
Mark
I
Cuban.
don't-
Mark Cuban's so obvious.
Why would I want to fight somebody that can't fight back? Why?
I mean,
Why? Do I want
Mike
to get
Pence.
punched in the face? I'm crazy too.
Viggo Mortensen is not bad either.
Viggo Mortensen, it feels too racial with Green Book.
That's fair.
Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav.
I'm not getting metal on my hands. Yeah, I'm Vin Rhames, that big meaty guy. I'd
Mike
mess him up.
Pence for all of us.
I know, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. That seems political as well. I don't want the Secret Service at my door.
I mean,
saying I
John
wanna fight him.
McEnroe is not a good choice. He would definitely beat your ass. That's for
Why
sure.
you say I'm not?
A tennis player? A former tennis
I
player?
don't promote violence, but I can fight. I'm not trying to do all this right now. Me and Vin Rhames go toe to
All
toe.
right.
We can see what happens.
Moving on, I just feel like that's a poor choice by you. That's I think that ends badly for you. I actually hope this fight happens because I
the
would
ball rolling?
100% watching. High key, I believe that we will win. Low key, we did. I believe that we will win.
Hey,
Okay,
we did. Hey.
All right, we didn't just win. We demolished Thailand.
It was a trotting. I don't know the word I'm gonna use. It was
something. It was a lot.
Yeah, the end games felt very
What did we do? We
dominant.
What's the guy's name?
Thanos.
We Thanosed.
The snap.
yeah.
Thailand by. Disappear.
So Alex Morgan had herself a game, 5 goals. Let's just run down the list of the ladies that scored. Let's see. Alex Morgan had 5. Rose Lavelle had 2. Lindsay Horan had 32. Sam Mewis had 2. Megan Rapinoe had 1. Mallory Pugh had 1. And Carly Lloyd had 2.
Dang. Carly Lloyd.
For a total of 13.
Ooh. I mean, we the game was on, and every time you looked up, they was up 2 points.
It's 2 goals. Yeah, it was insane.
2-point goals.
Nice little warm up game for the U.S. women's national team. Actually, fun fact, since we like to keep it real around here, they actually scored more goals than the men's team scored in the 2010 World Cup, 2014 World Cup, and also in the 2018 World Cup.
Who won the world?
They didn't qualify in 2018. But women do. That's
correct.
Okay, yeah. Yes. High key, Odell is keeping it 100. And low key, people think he's complaining.
Okay.
All right. So also this week, Odell shared some thoughts on the adversity that he faces in an interview with Albert Breer. He said, "I don't think anybody knows what it's like to be me, what I go through on a daily basis. Like every single thing I have to deal with, that's something that nobody else I feel like has to deal with. I feel like I'm in a way different position than anyone else in the NFL. I feel like I deal with more. I take more. There's things I've done in the past, but as a man, I've tried to grow a lot, and I try to put a lot of stuff behind me. And it's like it just keeps getting brought up." Now, people kind of flipped out about this, like, Odell's whining, and nobody ever wants to hear anyone like famous or rich complain about their life, which for the most part I understand, but I don't think that's what Odell's saying here. And I'm actually on Odell's side. Odell is a very unique individual in that he is an international star as an NFL player, which is very rare.
Yes.
He has, I think, how many more followers does he have than the next highest Instagram following on
He puts out a video every time he hits another million, so
it's a lot.
He cares about it. Yeah.
It's a lot, and he is the most visible and famous rock star level international star that the NFL has, and he gets scrutiny because of that, and also because he's super talented and people want to see him display that talent. Now, the Browns are going to be super noisy all year long because that's what the Browns do.
Amen.
And I'm grateful for it. Thank you for the content. That's what we do. So more of it, more noise.
Every week.
More
Let's
noise,
do
the
this.
better. But I do sympathize with Odell in this. Like, when you look at what Odell has to deal with because of those situations, which for the most part he's brought on himself, but also because he is that talented and that visible, and he was in New York, and he was with Eli Manning, and he was with a team that gets scrutinized no matter what, whether they're good or bad, because they are the New York Giants. I think you have to realize, like, everything comes with something else, right? Like, fame comes with lack of privacy.
True.
Like, money comes with more things you have to pay for.
Exactly.
Like, it's just like, so everything has something to it. And like, everybody wants more money, and everybody wants like a clout and all that. All he's saying is that he deals with it more uniquely than everybody else in the league does. I don't think he's saying like no one in life can relate to what I'm going through. I don't think that's what he's saying. I think he's talking about the league, and he's right. He deals with stuff that nobody else in the league has to deal with.
But that was intentional, and I feel like that's his part. Like coming into the NFL, I feel like this is who he wanted to be. This is who he wanted to be known as, like a huge rock star, someone who's looking for pictures with the helmet off versus the helmet on. And he's a entertainer.
Right. He did. That's what I'm saying. He did bring this on himself. But that doesn't mean he's out of line for saying that you can't relate to what I deal with. Because no one can.
Right.
The closest star to Odell in the league is Tom Brady. And Tom Brady is not... He's not out there like this. The Tom versus Time documentary was the first time that we ever saw anything that went on with his family or where he lives or his relationship.
They both were at the Met Gala.
Well, Pod Tom didn't come this year. Last year it was Pod Tom, so they weren't both there last year. Because regular Tom was somewhere else. But I do sympathize with him in this regard, and I do think that he deals with stuff that everybody else have to deal with. I don't think that that's going to be an excuse moving into the season. Like, starting off not going to OTAs, which I have no problem with, because OTAs are a glorified walkthrough.
Right.
I have no problem with that. But starting off not being there, and then if they struggle at all during the beginning of the season, it's going to be up 1,000 trillion because they brought all these expectations on themselves from all the noise, and it's going to be bad. But I am on Odell's side with this. Like, he is keeping it real when it comes to that. Loser power rankings. Loser power rankings. These are the losers of the week. Okay, so we had LeVar Ball on last week.
We did.
And don't get it twisted. LeVar said it on the Maybe I'm Crazy podcast first.
Man.
That Melo would go number 1 overall. And that he was going to go to either Australia or China. We had it first.
Yes.
But
We do that.
Melo is going to be very impactful in the NBA. And if you don't believe that, you're just not watching him. And
Clearly.
like, that's fine. Like, I get it. People get angry and irritated with the Ball family for whatever reason, and that's fine. Like, that's part of what's made them into what they are.
Yeah.
That they are polarizing. But Melo is going to be much better than Lonzo. And he is not only going to be better than Lonzo, he is going to have more of an impact on the league than Lonzo because Lonzo is quiet. Lonzo has started to come out of his shell a little bit more. But Melo
on HBO recently.
is swagtastic. Okay?
Yes. Dripping.
Dripping, drip,
Yes.
all the time. He had his Drew League premiere, 25 points, 6 assists, 5 boards, 3 steals. And everyone's like, oh my God, Melo Ball. Like, yeah, he's been here. He also went and played overseas as a high schooler, like LeVar said, which you can laugh at and think that he's crazy, but that's a very unique, maturing experience.
Yes.
Also, the one thing about Melo that I find interesting when it comes to comparing him to Lonzo, which I think they have two different games, although he is an incredible passer just like Lonzo.
Yes.
Melo's body is more mature than Lonzo's was at this age.
Yeah. I mean,
Like, Lonzo hit what Melo's body is last year.
yeah, I was going to.
I'm talking about like strength, like girth. Melo already has that, and he's going to get more, but he already has that now. So I'm fully on the Melo Ball train. Like, I do think he's going to be number 1 overall, and if you're doubting it, like, cool, at me, I'm fine with that. But he is going to be impactful.
Yeah,
Earl thinks he's going to be the face of the league.
That's what I'm saying. That I'm more on that mindset, and that's why I'm wondering, like, these people who call themselves basketball fans, NBA fans, any way, shape, or form, like, why aren't you just evaluating talent and looking forward to what's coming? We were watching Zion dunk for years before it got to this point. Like,
well, because he's a ball, and that, like, people want them to fail, which I think is stupid. But
he's just good.
No,
he's just great at playing basketball.
He is really good.
Yeah.
All right. Next, people are really mad at Kylie Jenner. So do you watch Handmaid's Tale?
I don't.
Okay,
I've seen the first episode.
Okay, so you understand the premise of Handmaid's Tale then.
Yes.
You understand what it's about.
Wife sitting there, husband there,
it's
holding. Got
Okay,
it.
so if you don't know what Handmaid's Tale is, basically it is society has been taken over by these religious fanatics, and women are not able to reproduce anymore. Right. So the women that can have babies are separated from the women who can't, and then there's like a class system for the women who can't. Like, if you can cook, then you are in this class, and I feel like you're completely useless. You get sent out to clean up like toxic waste, and basically women are enslaved. And the purpose is to repopulate the earth. And it's run by the whole like country is run by religious fanatics. They kill everyone who doesn't agree with them and like wipe out the press, and they control everything. And it's an oppressive society.
I know it's that deep.
It's based on a book, and it's very eerie to some of the laws and things. Like, they show the lead up to like how they got to this level of society. And it's like little things that are happening now. So it's like a little scary, and it resonates a lot with women. I find it to be very dark. It's a very interesting, very, very good show. Too dark for me because, like, life is hard, and I don't also want to watch stuff that depresses me even more. Like, sometimes I just want to watch, like, all the time. Yeah. Ashley's obsessed with it, as are many people. Mm-hmm. And clearly Kylie Jenner is too. Kylie Jenner. So she threw a Handmaid's Tale themed party for one of her friends, and had
First faux pas.
Praise Be vodka. So if you watch the show, you'll know what this is. Praise Be vodka, Under His Eye tequila, and people are just absolutely freaking out. They're like, it's so tone deaf and it's so disrespectful to women, and she's all the things that are happening out there, she just doesn't pay attention to because she's so elite. And it's
okay.
Like,
well, based on what you just said and what they just said, that sounds about right.
Okay, here's my problem, guys. All right, and this is the same thing that happened with Game of Thrones. And yes, it's the same thing. It's a TV show. All right, it's based on a book.
Okay,
It's not a documentary. It's not real life.
Right,
okay.
right.
Also, Kylie Jenner is a woman, so and I'm pretty sure she's not part of that like religious group that's trying to end women's rights. Okay,
Right,
I'm gonna venture to guess.
Yes.
She's not on that side. She's pretty liberal. All right. So everyone just calm down. Calm down. Take that energy. Keep that same energy. Hold on to it. Shift it towards your local senator. Okay? Because Miss Me would be flipping out on Kylie Jenner for having a theme party about her favorite show. It's a show. I get it. All right? I'm a woman too. I'm a little afraid. I feel you. But push that energy towards somebody who can actually make a difference. All right?
know.
It's a television show. It's not real.
Tweets hating on Kylie Jenner get retweeted, not the senator.
Thank you.
Just,
like
that might go
I don't
against
have
it.
the energy for that. Like I get it.
Right.
It's very scary and eerie and all that stuff. That's why I stopped watching it. But you tweeting at Kylie Jenner because she had a theme party for her favorite show is not helping anything. It's literally helping nothing. It's a complete waste of your time. Stop doing that. All right. Finally, Rich Eisen put a poll out there. I don't know where this came from, but he put a poll out there about middle seats on an airplane. I am the authority on this.
Yes.
Because I am a small person and I always get stuck in the middle seat.
Right.
So here's the deal. If someone is in the middle seat, they get both armrests. That's the law. It's in the book. Read it. Okay? It's not debatable. And if you happen to sit next to me, now if I travel with Earl, then it doesn't matter because I just lean on him the whole time.
Right.
Okay? But if I'm traveling next to strangers, all right, I get both armrests. And if you don't like it, we will be elbow fighting the entire flight. And guess what? I got all day. I got all day for this. And I am extra as with it. Okay? I will push. I will wiggle. I will sigh. I will lean back. I will poke your elbow until you move that because the middle seat gets both armrests. That's the price you pay for having to sit in the middle seat. If you have the aisle, you have the extra space for the stretching, and you have the free air. If you have the window, you can lean up against the window. You can get the most space away from the middle seat as possible.
Joy, you just said the price you pay.
Both middle seat armrests.
You said the price you pay is a luxury. You can't pay a price that's luxurious. You see what I'm saying? Like,
no, it's not luxury. I mean, the
both
price
armrests in the middle is luxurious.
That's the price you pay for the suffering of having to sit in the middle seat. You get both armrests. Okay, these people that get they get the aisle and they stretch out and they man spread like this and they get both armrests. Excuse me.
yeah.
Move yourself.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And if you man spread into my space, there's a line. Okay, there's a line. There's a line on the floor. It is a clear, distinct line. This is my space. This is the purchase. My $350 purchase for this ticket is within this space. Don't invade it. I will also kick you.
Our airplane podcast is gonna be popping, but I am a window guy because I just like to mold. Don't you know you got a little hole with the? I'm big, so I can just like I just need to think, and I also don't get up.
Me
I
either.
just put
No,
me in a little corner.
if
You
it's
can close the door.
Yeah,
like I could just be in here.
I'm not getting up. I'm
fine.
not using the restroom.
Yeah,
I cannot be bothered for the entire flight in the window. I'm so with you.
If I end up having to get an aisle seat and my big ass out there, half my shoulder hanging out that invisible line, like there's no invisible lines for these big people. We just spill over into things.
It's not my problem that you're not my size. It's not.
But you can't get both the armrests.
No, absolutely not. I get both the armrests. Anyone who's in the middle gets both
You
the armrests.
get the armrest
If you
with
are
the plug,
size,
with your plug in
If
it.
you're your size and you get in the middle seat, you get both armrests.
You
If
get the
you're my
armrest
size,
with your plug in it. With your audio plug, that's your armrest. That is your armrest.
No, you get both.
That's it.
You get both.
That's right.
You get both. Why does the person on the aisle get both armrests?
On the aisle, how's the person on the aisle? No one gets both.
Yes.
There's a negotiation of people, and you can have
There's
your
no,
people.
It is the rule.
fight.
It is the law. It's in the book. Read it. It says if you sit in the middle seat, you get both armrests. And also, if you're one of those people that gets pissed off when people put their seat back,
That's me. I'm already big.
I don't care. As soon as we lift off the ground, that shit is back. As soon as we lift, you think I'm waiting until we get to 10,000 feet? Boom. I'm not sitting up straight for 5 hours.
I just had like a 7-year-old on his first flight playing with the shades in front of me and pushing the seat back. And then one point in time, I just went and put my strong little arm right there, and he was. And he was so mad. He couldn't figure out what was going on. I was like, "You ain't coming back here. No more.
I don't agree.
No more.
I don't agree with children playing with stuff on planes. You got to tell the kid to stop. But especially when you're invading someone else's space.
Yes.
I'm not with that. But if I as an adult choose to recline my seat, the little 1.5 inch that it allows,
You are
I'm
so
doing it.
small. Why would you need to put the seat
My
back?
back hurts. I want to relax. I got a long flight. My ass falls asleep. Can I have 5 seconds of comfort? Can I have my one
You
and a
just
half
move
inch of recline?
Said ass in seat. You just kind of one
I
cheek here.
can't do that. What if it's a
one
person I
cheek
don't know
here.
next to me? I'm just gonna breathe in their face the whole flight.
You so small, you can move around.
No, I do have plenty of space. Doesn't matter. Every seat is a first class seat for me. But I'm not doing that.
They
I'm
need
not
to make
with
an
that.
invention where you can shrink yourself going on the planes. That's the idea. So when you're talking about giving out free ideas to people, honey, I shrunk the kids for the plane.
What's your problem, Ash?
For what it's worth, the poll that you referenced,
Yes.
over 107,000 voters, they vote against you.
They're wrong. Every single one of them. And if they get next to me on a plane and we have to sit next to each other, they will lose because I will elbow fight them the entire way until they're uncomfortable.
It's going to happen. And
I
then the
hate
person,
touching strangers, but it is the one situation where I will touch until I get my space. I deserve both of these. If I choose to relent one, then you may have it. But I'm likely not going to relent it, and in which case you need to move your elbow.
I don't like this dictatorship.
It's not. It's just a fact. It's a fact of life. The fact of life, and all those people are selfish. Selfish, rude. They don't appreciate other people's space.
Your rule that you made up. I'm trying.
not making
I'm
this
trying
rule
to get out. We're trying to end this thing, but come on.
All right, what's in the Migos Culture Report?
Last weekend, Mortal Enemies Chris Brown and Drake released a single to compete for Song of the Summer called No Guidance, where the two trade off harmonizing over some sweet young tings. And today is #1 on the Apple Music trending charts. Chris Brown is releasing his album Indigo on June 21st. You here for Drake and Chris Brown beef?
There's no beef because beef is dead, as we know. We talk about this every week. It's there's no such thing as beef anymore. Song's good, but Old Town Road is still
No.
still a
We're
song.
not going to be able to do that.
I'm ready. I'm ready for a new song. That's not the song of the summer.
Chris
It's
Brown.
too slow. The song of the summer needs to be a song that the windows are down, the sun is shining, and you are vibing.
You need
and
bars.
that's just not it.
You just need some
And
bars.
that's a good song. That song is a nighttime summer song. It's not the daytime summer song. And in order for it to be the song of summer, it's got to be a daytime summer song. You're not going to play that.
Parameters.
I'm just telling you how summer works.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
like that's how it works. That's how it works. And right now it's still Old Town Road. I'm sorry. It just we just might as well get attached. We have to accept that Old Town Road is the new I Believe I Can Fly.
The levels of ways I can push back.
I mean, I know that everyone is trying to like absorb what I just said, but I Believe I Can Fly was the most overplayed, oversaturated song in the history of musical recordings.
No.
I think it's safe to say we need a new one. So
Yeah, okay. I can agree with that.
Joy's just making a nomination, and I don't hate it.
I'm not saying that they are of the same vein in that I Believe I Can Fly was sung in church.
Yes,
Although I'm
on
sure
Space
there's a
Jam.
way that
my
some of
God.
the progressive churches can put a spin on Old
Google
Town Road
machine that. We got that for
They
sure.
and get it
that,
in there.
yeah.
But I mean, it's being played in elementary schools.
That's when
It
it's dead.
is
That's when it
number one
dies.
elementary school banger.
That's when it does.
It is the most requested EJ and Bella song in the car. EJ knows every word. He's 4.
Even more
I
than,
think that's the song is created to simplify so kids can know it.
It's genius.
It was like when it's like when Drake made that "I'm gonna find your love." Not that one. It was a bad singing Drake song. He was singing terribly a couple summers ago. It's just bad. When you try to sound
Old
like a
Town
kid.
Road is a
sound like a
song
kid.
that will go down in the history books. It will live on forever.
The remix,
And
the remix,
it's doing it right now.
The remix, he's got an album coming out, and the remix is the only thing on the album. The original song's not even on the damn
Yeah, because
album.
the remix is great.
it's got Billy
So
Ray on
you
it.
fighting for a song that isn't even good enough
It's got the guy that
in its
sings
original
Achy
form
Breaking
to
Heart
make
on it.
the debut album of the artist.
My achy breaking heart.
I'm
I
done.
just don't think you'd understand.
It's all I want to know is
I love when I say something that bothers everyone in the room. You can feel the energy
I
of
just-
irritation.
I want to know
Yeah,
what Rihanna.
I'm not lying right now. I'm saying facts. They're harsh realities, and this is what we're dealing with. What's next on the Culture Report? By the way, DJ Khaled complained that his album moved up, which is so petty, and I love it so much.
It's not a good album.
And I don't care how petty it is because he's right.
He's mad at the label. He's mad at himself because he can't make It wasn't as good as Tyler Creator's album. Simple as that.
I mean,
Moving on.
I don't know.
Okay.
What's up with the sneakers?
Jordan Brand and Stranger Things collab for a lost shipment of shoes that was found in Los Angeles and will be on sale for purchase later on this week, namely tomorrow. All I know is I better see 11 rocking those Jordans in season 3 of Stranger Things, which hits Netflix July 4th. Are you ready for summer scaries?
It's so close.
Right?
Oh, I need another good show.
They've been releasing on Halloween usually. So this is kind of
So they're Jordan ones.
Yeah.
We have no leaked pictures of these yet, right?
Haven't seen any
No.
of them.
It's still not even confirmed that they're Jordan ones.
Oh, it isn't?
There's a lot of rumors going around now.
I'm saying they're going to be
Someone-
some ugly ass Team Jordans that don't nobody want to pick up.
No.
That's a strange thing.
No, they're gonna be excellent.
Someone even said it might be apparel only, which there's no way.
so
There's
disappointing.
no way they would do that. There's no way.
No, it's
There's no
gotta
way.
be shoes.
Let's speak it into existence. There's
Okay,
no
so
way.
Ashley is going down to Staples Center tomorrow.
She says.
Sure am.
If you want to meet Ashley, our producer.
Yes. Wear a sign.
Yeah, wear signs as Ashley the producer.
Maybe I'm
But
crazy name tag.
if it is shoes, I'm gonna need you to pick up a size 13. I'll pay you back.
Usually they only let you get one.
Well,
And I
clone
love
yourself.
you, Earl, but no.
Clone yourself, and I'm gonna need you to get another one.
I mean, I think you make the sacrifice.
Yeah,
I
I'll bring
think you
Ziggy
try.
with
You
me.
ask. You don't take no for an answer, do you?
I'll bring Ziggy with me. Maybe they'll.
Ooh, yeah, emotional support.
Yeah, animals are basically dogs in LA. I mean, people. Animals are basically people in LA.
They are.
Dogs specifically.
Yeah.
That's it. Better not be apparel.
It's going to be
that's a big
Team
tease.
Jordans. It's even worse.
All right, thanks for joining us this week on the Maybe I'm Crazy pod. We are actually off next week for
Diggity dark.
World Cup. So we have recorded a special NBA awards show leading up to the actual NBA awards. Just kind of our NBA season superlatives.
Y'all
if
know
you
how we
will.
do.
So make sure you check that out. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, Maybe I'm Crazy podcast.
Just over 10K subscribers.
Yeah,
This last week. Shouts out to
thanks,
y'all.
guys.
Yes, award winning.
We appreciate it. At Newman Show 99, at Joy Taylor Talks, at Baby I'm Crazy Pod on social media. And hope you guys are enjoying your summer and the NBA Finals and World Cup. And we'll catch you in a couple weeks.
Bye.
Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not.